are rounding off today this topic titled Yes, Not Solution to Poverty, under the series Walking Away from Poverty. I want you to pay attention so that you can hear all that we are saying. We are rounding off this morning this particular topic is not solution to poverty under the series Walking Away from Poverty. We have spoken on this to such a point that if by now you have not been able to grasp what we are saying, I don't know how we can help you. We are saying that poverty is not of God. Poverty is of the mind. Poverty is a curse. Poverty embarrasses a man. Poverty is not a virtue. If it's a virtue, don't give us. You take it yourself. We don't need it. So if you want to get away from poverty, there is something you must do, definite actions you must take. Deliberate and definite actions you must take. And if you are not ready to take those deliberate actions and definite one, then you can remain a beggar. There is no problem with that. It's a choice. The summary is that poverty is what? Choice. Am I hard? I said that poverty is what? So some of us will have determined that we will not take it. And that is the mind we are selling. Let's look at the text again in Proverbs chapter 6. I read from verse number 6 to 12 or 11. It says, Go to the ants, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise, which having no guard, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in summer, and gathered her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands, to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that is traveling, and thy want as an armed man. In Proverbs chapter 14, verse number 23, and it says there, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tender only to penury. Penury there means poverty. And in Proverbs chapter 22, 29, it says, Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings, he shall not stand before me people. If you look at all these scriptures we have read now, it's simply talking about industry. It's talking about industry. That you can change your lot by industry. You can change your lot by industry. And this scripture does not understand your religion. It does not understand your background. It's universal. It's a law that God has put in place that does not discriminate. It's not saying because you are from Togo or from Sierra Leone, wherever you're coming from, that will not apply to you. Anybody that keys into this law, it applies to him. Whether you are a white man or a black man or indigo or whatever color you are carrying, is irrelevant. So long as you key into this, you are bound to get the blessings of God as God has said. Now we went forward to say, or rather, look at the fact that if you must then get away from poverty, you need to be empowered. You need to be empowered. And we try to define empowerment as that thing you are given that enables you to pursue your plans or your purpose in life. Some enablement that is given to you to help you to pursue what you want to do. That is what we define empowerment to be. You need some enablement. You need some enablement that will help you to pursue. We want to assume that you would have set out some goals. We have set out some things we want to pursue this year and beyond. It could be short term, it could be long term, it could be middle. We have 3 stages of goals: immediate, middle, and long range. So it all depends. There are some goals, there are some things you want to do. It might take you 5 years, but you just started today. It's a long range. There are things you want to achieve within this year. So it depends on exactly what you are wanting to do. But whatever you want to do, we are trying to say that you need some enablement, you need some skills to be able to do those things you want to do, which we consider as empowerment. And then we went forward to say that empowerment begins from the mind. Empowerment begins from the mind. The mind is the center of all activities. And Bible said, guide your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. If you say you can, you can. If you say you can't, you can't. I was going through some documents I have in my house today. I said, I'm going to plan a very big seminar that will deal on handcap. And I am believing God that after you are listening to that seminar, if you don't fly, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm telling you, it's thought-provoking. You see people in this life, some have spinal cord injuries, some were on the ground. Birds, they were able to move. So you see that handicap is in the mind. Handicap is the mind. It's not a man that cannot walk around that is handicapped. Physically he's handicapped because he cannot do one thing or the other. But the real handicap is in the mind. Like Helen Keller said, he was being interviewed. I said, what is the biggest handicap you can think of? Or any person suffer. This Helen Keller was blind and also deaf. I think he's deaf. I can't remember, but he had a number of handicaps. He said that the worst handicap is those that have eyes that they cannot see. Have eyes that you can see. The worst blindness is blindness in the mind. Because the man that is blind in the mind does not see the danger ahead him, what is going to happen to him. That is the reason why when we talk about hell, when we talk about somebody running away from sin and somebody is trying to negotiate with Satan, because he's blind, he cannot see the danger that is coming. That's a real blind man. It's not a man that is that has lost his sight. The real blindness is in the mind, because the man does not see what is coming upon him. And then he will jump into the danger and is killed, only for him to now see, I am lost and lost forever. Yeah, blindness. So when we finish about this handicap, this seminar, oh my God, I don't know. I see people with hands and legs. I see people with everything complete, and they choose to be begging. And I choose to live a begging life. And they waste their life and waste their time. And the world is rushing and pushing. And a man that has everything, one of the worst things that can happen to somebody is not to know Jesus. Because if you don't know Jesus, all your labor in this world is vain. All your effort. Why? Because you cannot empower zero. You can't empower zero. 0 plus 0 is what? 0. It's only a whole number you can empower. You can't empower 0. 0 plus 0 is what? 0. Meaning, if you have not known Jesus, you are at the point of 0. Everything you gain in this world, all your money, all your education, everything you have gathered, at the point you are living out, you are at the point of what? 0. It's not me that said it. It's God that said, what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and does what? Is it not zero? It's zero. Because everything you gather at the point you are going, you are leaving there. And then your soul is lost. What shall it profit a man? Or what shall a man give as an exchange for his soul? So if somebody, Bible said, the knowledge of God is the beginning of what? Wisdom. And God said, if any man want to glory, let him not glory in his money, let him not glory in his wealth, but let him glory in this, that he does what? He glory in me. So if you really know God, you are at the point of zero. You better agree. Because God is the owner of the whole world. God is the one that gave you life, gave you everything. So anything you are pursuing outside, you are at the point of zero. So the mind is the center of everything. Then you went forward to see that it is your thinking that really drives you. Your life is a reflection, where you are now is a reflection of the way you've been thinking. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. If you think there is heaven, you begin to live having heaven in view. Because you believe there is heaven, you try to avoid anything that will take you away from heaven. If you say there is no heaven, you live as though there is no heaven. The reflection of your life shows that there is no heaven. Because that is where you are thinking. So, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. If you think possibilities, and if you say you can't, you can't. You say you can't, you can't. It is as you are thinking. And I'm share several testimonies in that regard. Share the testimony of my life. Challenges. Many of you were far, far, far better than me. Where I started. And if I can, why can't you? It's a matter of challenge. Take the challenge and say, I can. That's what I told myself. I said, if you say I can. But I didn't stop here. I began to do what? Work on myself. That's why I am where I am now. I have not arrived. Did I say I've arrived? But I'm moving. I'm moving. If you come to my room, you see, every day, I just wish I can stretch the day to maybe 40 hours. But there are much to do. There are books that are not read. This morning I was looking at this one and said, I'm going to read you. Okay, I'm going to read you. I'm challenging myself. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. That is now, that tells you I've not arrived. There is a lot of land to do what? Conquer. That's the point. That's the point. If you enter my room every time, if I'm not resting, I'm reading. I just listen to news. After listening to news, I talk of myself. I'm reading. I'm searching. Because there's much to know, much to do. So that I will be able to minister to you. I will be able to tell you something you need to know. Praise the Lord. Amen. As a man thinketh in his heart, so it is. So we are left with 2 points now, which I'm going to briefly talk about. Then we conclude with this X, no solution to poverty. What's the next point? Empowerment begins with what? Imagination. Imagination. The way you understand this imagination is we go to the Bible and see how God, if you know who you are, if you know what God deposited in you, you will want to germinate like a seed. I'm telling you. In Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1, it said, in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. And darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from darkness. And God called day. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And evening and morning were the fourth day. And God said, let there be firmament in the midst of the waters. And he divided the waters from the waters. And God made firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and gathering together of the waters called his sea. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass and herbs, yielding seed, and the fruit yielding seed after his kind, whose seed is in himself, upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielded fruit, whose seed was in himself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, let there be light in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs, for seasons. Let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. And let there be light in the firmament of heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights. The greater light ruled the day, and the lesser light ruled the night, that's sun and moon. And he made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven, to give the light upon the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And so forth. Now listen. This one said, in the beginning, what? In the beginning, what? What it means is that God has been somewhere, existing before the beginning. Because God cannot be inside a world and creating the world. I don't know whether somebody is understanding that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I cannot be inside this house, building this house. I must build this house from where? Outside. So he said, in the beginning, God, meaning God had been existing. God had been existing from time, immemorial, from eternity. Then at a particular period, he called it what? The beginning. He decided to bring every other thing into existence. Now he began to now say, let this one be, this one will be, let this one be, this one will be. You look at it, you find out that it is somehow, then say, let this one come to writing it. Day, night, divided the day, divided the night, then the sun to rule in the day, then the moon to rule in the night, and then the stars and the rest of them, and the herbs, the water, he gathered the water and it became sea. And then he asked the earth where we are to come up. It came up, it became where man is to stay. Then he asked herbs to come up. All these things were coming up one by one as he imagines anyone. So the point is that all these things have been existing in his mind. Are you following me?
Yes.
He said the earth was without void, nothing was there. Then he began to say, this one will be good, this one will be good. But where were those things? They were in his mind. He began to call them up. He began to call them up. Anyone he calls comes out by his word. Anyone he calls comes out. And that thing that God did is also existing in man. In other words, that ability to imagine is part of the nature of God in man. I don't know whether somebody is following me. That thing that God did is part of the nature of God that he deposited in man. Meaning that man has ability to bring out something that is not there to come into existence. But the problem is that you have never sat down to think. You have never sat down to imagine things. You have never sat down to look at what can I bring out? What is there anything? In fact, we are told that necessity is the mother of what? Invention. Yes. When people are pushed to the wall, they begin to now think. They are forced to think. I begin to imagine things and they begin to happen. I'm telling you, for instance, this plastic seed is somebody's imagination. It didn't jump down from heaven. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
The person that brought it, is he smiling to bank?
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
I know a little about production. If you see the mold where this is produced, it's a very big forklift that will carry it. It has what we call male and female. When it opens, and then it closes again, then injection machine will now inject liquid plastic inside the mold. After some minutes, then it will congeal and form this plastic. Then it comes up and drops. It closes again. Very big machine that forklifts will carry it. And if I tell you the cost of the mold, the mold that we produced, you will not get it 50 million naira. The mold that we produced. So if somebody sat down and designed this thing and bring it out, and then the smiling in the back, man is coming. This pulpit, we used to have wood. If somebody sat down and began to think, how can I bring something that is fashionable? Came out with this. This ball, we used to have ordinary ball now. It's not too long, it's phased out. Somebody thought of this and brought it out. This air conditioner, we used to have wall air conditioner, but this wall is split. And all these things you see, everything you see is somebody's creation, somebody's imagination. If you are a carpenter, you can sit down and then imagine something that has not been there before. Before anybody will know it, you're already smiling to bank. But the world is world of competition. The moment you bring it out, if you are not careful, some other person will hijack it. Because people are waiting for someone that will initiate a thing. And when they initiate a thing, they do what? They hijack it. That is the reason for copyright and patent rights. So that whatever you are able to produce, you keep it, at least for some time. And whoever that infringes on that, you can sue him and claim damage, because that is your creation, that's your imagination. But what I'm trying to say is that God gave man wisdom, gave him the power of imagination to solve his problems. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Don't you see the bridge that settled? Those of you that knew settled 5 years ago, don't you know how it used to look like? Is the face not changed now? Do you see the arithmetic there? Do you see how things are going on? Somebody sat down in the office and drew all this in his imagination and put those things into being. They are now bringing it out. That is how God expects us to live. By what? Imagination, creating things. Let me tell you about myself. I wish I can have time. Necessity is the mother of invention. I had serious problem in business. Sometimes, severally, it was a regular occurrence. It's as I'm getting out of this, another one is coming on. All these things, God used it to to strengthen my mind. There was a particular time I had a problem in business. I said, what do I do? What do I do? The white people I was doing business with, they were cheating me badly. If you are not provoked by actions, by things, you can't move. I said, no, what do I do? He got to think. He said, I'm going to go into production. I began with rubber production. As you see me so, I have the technology to produce hoses, shaft hoses of different vehicles, motorcycle, motor, Audi, Passat, all these shaft hoses. I have the technology, I have the molds, I have to produce the molds, and I was producing it myself. Producing shaft hoses. From there, I ventured into a bigger project, but I suffered. I had to sell some properties and sell some shares, raise a big amount of money that I entered into amateur people. They produced mold, they tested it, it couldn't work. That was 1987. I struggled for 2 years trying to get it to work. It couldn't work. Eventually, I sent it to India. By the time they finish the mold is bigger than this thing. By the time they finish that mold, then the Nigerian government is bound in bringing in of fairly used fish, because it was fish products. Now, I had to go to China, then send it to China, and I saw that China can produce it in less than 4 months that they have done with it. I've been finishing very good. Then I had to bring in about 3 or 4 from China. If I check the cost of the 3 or so, it may not be less than 6 million naira. Those products. So I would have raked money, if not the banner. But that is not alone. Then I entered into production of hangers. I have about 15 models of hangers, different type of hangers. This one they use in hanging clothes. I went into production of covers, motorcycle covers. I have up to 12, 13 models of motorcycle covers and different items. If you come to my house, you see the molds, they are packed. Because of the current, I have to pack this stuff. So I have a imaginative mind. I will sit down and think that I can design this, I can bring this. All the Lebanese, Korea people, India that I do business with, whenever a new vehicle comes out, I will go and study what we can produce quickly before the demand comes out, particularly in the area of bolts and nuts. I will introduce it myself, send the sample either to India or to China. Before everybody will begin to now ask for the parts, I'm already selling it and making money. Imagination. You sit down. That's why, thank God that I'm delivered. I'm telling you because business is in my blood. But I thank God that I'm delivered. I will sit down and think of if you anytime you come around, I will show you things. Sit down and think of this thing. It can be fashioned this way. It can be done this way. Before anybody will know it out. This feeding they use in feeding fowl. I am almost the first person that designed it. It used to be iron. I designed it in plastic. So imagination. Because I have made up my mind that the thing that was driving me was so strong. So whatever be the business you are doing now, you can excel. You can excel. You don't wait until everybody, before everybody wake up from sleep, you are already somewhere. You are already somewhere because you are creative. You are imaginative. Have I not told you? Listen, all this laptop, computer, all this is where imaginations of human beings like you and me. somebody sat down and brought those things. All you need is one idea. There is one idea that people will like. You're ready to believe. You know that? One creation, one idea that people will accept can make you believe. That is the truth. Go into every industry. This thing they call power bank. Is it not somebody that designed it?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
The other one you see different. Somebody sat down and then said, we have different kind of phones that use different kind of sockets. Somebody sat down and brought all those sockets together, connected it to a bank. Huh? You charge the bank, then anyone you use, you do what? You connect it to it. Did it come from heaven?
No.
It's someone that thought about it. That's otherwise you will need to carry this charger, carry this charger, carry this charger, carry this charger. But someone sat down and said, but we can connect cables with different pins. Connect it to a power bank. And once that power bank is charged, we can tap current from it. So the person that did it, is this married to man?
Yeah.
So imagination. And then look at Genesis chapter 1 from verse 26. It says there, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him male and female created he them. 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and do what? Subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the air. You see, this is where we know that from the day that God created man, there is power inherent, there is power in man to do a lot of things. And I want to tell you that man is conquering and subduing the earth. The question is, are you among the people conquering and subduing the earth? Many years ago, it might take you months to come from Nigeria to Ghana here. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Is it true?
Yes, sir.
But today, with just a minimum aircraft, 45 minutes you are in Ghana. Is it not subduing?
Yes.
I am asking you, is it not subduing?
Yes.
Man has reduced the time it takes him to travel. Now, from here to China, under normal distance is about 17 hours flight. But there are super jets that can go in less than 2 hours. Yes, that is subduing. Man has been able to create aircraft, and under this aircraft, you carry containers, carry human beings, and they fly in the air and going across continents. Is it not subduing? Is it not subduing?
Yes.
Man has been able to build ship, and this ship will carry 5,000 containers across continents. Is it not subduing?
Yes.
I am asking, is it not subduing?
Yes.
Man has succeeded in removing human brain. Remove the one that had problem, put it back. Is it not subduing? Man has succeeded in cutting human being, remove hearts as you repair motor or motorcycle engine, and then put it back. Is it not subduing? Man has succeeded in removing organs in the body, and then remove the troubled part and put it back. Is it not subduing? Man has succeeded in freezing a man's seed. A man that died maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago, the seed taken from him is used in fertilizing another human being. Is it not subduing? Man has succeeded in planting human being inside the womb of a woman. Is it not subduing? What are you talking about? The point is, what part are you playing? Those that are doing those things, they have 20 heads. God said, go and do what? Subdue the earth. Conquer the animals in the waters. Has man not been able to conquer every kind of creature in the water? With special net, where shark, as big as it is, capture it, bring it to the land. Has man not been able to do that? Is there any animal in this world that man has not been able to trap? Elephant, lion, leopard, any kind of animal. Has no man gotten the sense enough to trap them? So you find that a man is subduing the world. The point is, which area are you participating? What are you doing? The same brain God gave to all people who gave it. The problem is that our brain has not been exercised. We have not used it. We have not taxed it. Why? We continue to use what other people have produced, and we refuse to do something to ourselves. We refuse to sit down and see what we can do. So anything you are doing today, you can improve on it. That's the point, and that's where I want to begin. Because I may not expect you to go and invent a place. Whatever you are doing now, you can improve on it. You can improve by what? Imagination. Which better way can I do this? So, God gives you bread. Don't bother him. Don't disturb him. Give you hands. Give you leg. Give you all these things so that you sit down and solve your problem. Is it God? Very soon now, Kaswa again to the day. Is it God that came to work in Ghana? I'm asking you, is it God?
No, sir.
This second now, is it God that did he send angel?
No, sir.
Don't you see human beings there? Yes, they are solving problems. Engineering is simply solving problems. That's all. That's all. So man can solve his problem. Man can conquer. Man can do things. So, and when you are thoughts, imaginative and inquisitive, even me, in my little corner, challenged white people, I began to create things. They were so marveled, they were so surprised of what this person can do. Or what this person can do. And then they give this competition. Yes. Show you things that I created myself by imagination. So you can stop crying. Stop asking for eggs. Just sit down in your sleep. If you are imaginative, you find God showing you things, how things can be done. Now the last point is empowerment begins by acquiring knowledge. Acquiring knowledge. You see that these points are taking me time. In some parishes, they have already finished because they don't know the much, they don't know what is in my mind. In many locations, they have finished, they are very, very finished long ago. They even finish it in one city. Because they don't know what is in my mind. But you see, it's taking me time because there is something in me that I'm trying to let you know. Acquiring knowledge. I read you Hosea 4:6 said, for lack of knowledge, my people perish. Ignorance is a terrible thing. Because if you lack knowledge, then you are ignorant and you will be deformed. Now, in Proverbs chapter 2, look at what The word of God is saying in Proverbs chapter 2, verse 3 to 6. The first time I came across this scripture, I was so excited. Proverbs chapter 2, from verse 3 to 6. I can even take it from 1. He said, my son, if thou wilt receive my words, hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thy ear unto wisdom, and apply thy heart unto understanding. Yea, if thou criest after what?
Knowledge.
If thou criest after knowledge, and lifted up thy voice for understanding. If thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shall thy understand the fear of the Lord, and find knowledge of God. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge. Brother, sister, you cry after knowledge. Do you know what it means to cry after knowledge? You are desperately wanting to know. You are crying after knowledge. You are desperately wanting to know. You are searching. You are crying. Yesterday we organized seminar for those that are single, and only few people came. Those that came, they are in the category of people that are crying after knowledge. Can't they go to their business? Can't they go to their works? But because they are crying after knowledge, you want to know. You want to know? Yes. You see me? I was crying after knowledge. If I tell you the people that I've met in life, you'll be surprised. Some of these big people in business, that go to them, Zenith, Jimbovia, and the owners of 7up and the rest of them, I have sat one-on-one with them in a seminar. And they were telling me how to make their money. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
I sat one-on-one with Jimbovia. Jimbovia said he's not going to rest until he overtakes First Bank. And that overtaking First Bank. Put me, having one-on-one. Jimbovia said he's not going to rest until he overtakes First Bank. And Zenith has overtaken First Bank in terms of profit. And First Bank has existed for 120 years. They said it is only 20-something years. A man of 25 years that overtaken a man of 120 years. You can understand the speed in which it's moving. And I said, I did what? I had it. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
The owner of 7up, they are Lebanese. He said somebody told their father that he should come to Nigeria, that there's a lot of money in Nigeria, 1935. And their father came to Nigeria in 1935. And the father started 7up 1960 at Jola. He started 7up Brewery 1970. The father died at the age of 100. The father told them, my children, go and look for business that will give you cover. And that's one of the eyes. Coca-Cola is making about 2 kobo in every bottle they produce. There are how many billion bottles a day? I had you say, look for business that will give you 1 kobo, 5 kobo, 10 kobo, and the rest of them. That's why there's a lot of money in pure water. There's a lot of profit in pure water. And some of that is, do you know how much money they're making in Tonton? I'm documenting the rest of them. Look at the couple. They're having billion is produced. I've attended seminar of, if you come to my house, heap of seminar like this, seminar books I've attended. I have paid, that's why, oh my God, I spend money. Ask my wife. Sometimes my wife wants to quarrel with me because as you see, I can buy a material 100,000 naira at a time. Sometimes I go for shopping. If I go to overseas, I spend hundreds of dollars buying books to empower myself because I'm crying after knowledge. When I show you some material that I bought, some of them 50,000, some of them 100,000 tapes, because I'm crying after knowledge. That is what the Bible said. He that cries after knowledge. How many seminars have you attended? Where have you gone to? What have you had? Where have you been to? Where are you going to get knowledge? Who will teach you? Who will inform you? When you sit down and people that have made it in life are telling you how they made it. Those of you that came to single seminar yesterday, didn't you learn some things? Huh? I want to tell you that better soup na money kill money. Na money kill better soup. How many books do you know I have read on marriage? Apart from that, I was a marriage chairman committee for about 17 years. Some of the people that are waiting in church, their children have graduated. So how do you think that I did? How do you think that I don't have anything in my head? Crying after knowledge means you go and hear from people that have something. That is why the white man said you cannot reinvent the wheel. Somebody has suffered for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. He had the experience and he said, come, let me teach you how you can walk faster. You don't need to go through that 50 years experience. You can shorten it. Crying after knowledge means, you see me, I will go to Siemens looking for old magazine to buy. Times magazine, news watch, the rest of them. Old one, they will sell it almost no amount. I will go home and go to read old magazines. Go to where they sell second-hand books. I will see the one that draws my attention. Have I not told you Ben Carson? Who again? A number of them have told you they became great by what? Reading. Attending seminars to develop yourself, improve yourself, add value to your life. Then you are crying after knowledge. We come for Bible study. People will not come. If you know, I cherish Bible study more than Sunday life and charismatic hour. There's none of them that is not important to you. I hope you know. But if you come to Bible, you find out that the approach in Bible study is different from approach on Sunday life. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
You need to know this Bible. For the Bible said, rightly dividing the word of truth. You need to know this Bible to be able to run it through. You are going front and back, left and right, and then fixing matters, fixing things like that, fixing them. It is because you have some knowledge. And this is the knowledge that sustains you in the day of trouble. If you come, you pray. You are like somebody that is floating. On the day of trouble, you have no foundation. You have no foundation. When you come to Bible study and listen to life experiences, we are building you up. Jesus said, any man that hears my word and doeth it is like a man that built his house upon a rock. So if you hear and be a doer, it means you are solidly built. The rain will come, the wind will come, and then the flood will come. Adverse weather, they will meet you. that adverse weather represents troubles in life. There are people that a little wind will blow them, they throw in towel. Little wind in life, little problem, little challenge in life. You lost money, you lost somebody, you lost this one and this one, and this one happened. You say, where is God? If God was there, but God was there all the time. He hasn't died. God is there. God only allows some exam to come your way so that when you pass, He promotes you. But that exam ended up swallowing you. But if you cry after knowledge, you come to hear the word of God. If you check other parishes, they don't give outline, they can give outline. You know why? You know why? I want you to, first of all, receive it. After you have received it, you go and study it again, and then use it tomorrow for somebody. Other parishes are not giving. Whenever I come, I travel and I came back and I ask them, do they give after? They say no. I get offended with them. You don't know what I'm doing for you. Not appreciate it. Maybe some of you are using it to laugh, they are not, and the rest of them. No problem. No problem. But at the end of the day, you know that we have some sense. Crying after knowledge. Then he said, he that searches for that knowledge as a hid treasure. Why is it that gold and silver and minerals, why is it that they are not found along the road? So that you go there and pick it. Why are they hidden? That's what Bible says. So that you make effort to do what? Get there. God will have kept gold for you. As you are going to connect connection, see gold and pack it with you can even drop it in the house. Why troubling you? It is in the Bible. If thou searchest for it as a hid treasure, meaning you have to make effort. You have to go to some extent, spend money. How much have you spent in developing yourself? Some they call for seminar. They say seminar maybe 20 cedis. 20 cedis. Because you don't appreciate what it is. Telling you spend money. 50,000, 40,000. You are taking one program or the other. As you are coming from this, you are going to another one. And you are gathering all those things and you are keeping them. You are crying after knowledge. You are seeking it as a hid treasure. And then very soon you are empowered. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Honestly, the God is giving me a promise. As you see me, I am underutilized. Whether you agree or not, I'm telling you the truth. I am underutilized. By what I have learned in this life, I am underutilized. It is like you go and start 3 kVA generator and put only fan. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
You start 3 kVA generator and it is only for one fan. Are you not wasting the generator? That's how I see myself. I want to talk to thousands of people. That's why I'm crying, God, give me children. I want to talk to thousands of people. I don't want to waste my life. That's the reason why we are documenting some of the things we are doing, so that future generation will benefit from it. We are telling you the truth. You think that we are joking. You think that we are joking. We call for special meetings, somebody will not come. Because you think that maybe I will do pastor something. How then will you come out of poverty? How will you come out of poverty? How will you come out of poverty? We are giving you forum, giving you things that will help you to change your mind and charge yourself and say this nonsense must stop. And you don't want it. But I am persuaded that there are some people that are buying it. I'm happy. During this month, I'm going to give a testimony. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
So I am not wasting my life. The only thing that the people that are responding are very small. That's the only thing I'm telling you. It's not that some people are not responding. So, next week, we're going to have combined fellowship. I don't know what God will lead me to talk about. If I'm led to talk, I will begin with saving and investing. I will show you how you can save money. Praise the Lord. Poverty is to be conquered. It's not by prayer. It's not by naivety. It's by definite action. To show you how to save and how to do what? Invest. Let me see how you will not make money. Then I will show you so many things that are taking money from you that should not take money from you. One day I called my children and said, see, there are millions of money in this our room. I'm going to show them. Say money, see money, see money, see money, see money, see money. That you want to do government job, no problem, it's good, so that we have some experience. But the foundation that I led, if any of you want to be a billionaire, you can be a billionaire. To work, no problem. You can go and work and get experience. But if it is money you are looking for, money there here. That you are looking for Sokoto, you there for your Chokoto. Telling you that thing you are running to India, China, this and that, looking for money, that money they what? Then for me, I discover it. One old man said, he went to Nigeria. Every street is filled with gold, filled with money, and Nigerians are running away. But every street is filled with what? Money. Let's rise up to pray. Until I see people whose mind has changed. I see people that are making it. People that are making it. And in school, you are struggling, you are fighting. Life is fight. Life cannot be fair. Life cannot be fair to you. You have to fight. Nobody will give you chance. Nobody will give you chance. You have to tell yourself, I must exist. I must succeed. Life is not fair. And it cannot be fair.